Alright, Legendary Family, we are almost done with these evolved monsters in the Monster Hunter series here. And today we have Behemoth, alright? The big sturdy rock monster, okay? So, obviously, you know the rules here. 10 Behemoths, all of, different ages and size and stuff. And we're going to be putting them in the Monster Hunter Desert. And we're going to be compositing the region here to basically get a good feel for it. So it'll be basically everyone from the Wildspire Waste, the dunes, the green desert, and stuff like that there. So expect a lot of monsters to be in this one here. And, well, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and obviously the last one will be Gorgon, which will be taking place only in the Rotten Vale, as that environment has not been used yet. So let's talk about Behemoth here. Obviously, with his mode of transportation, he can easily roll and actually leave magma as a trail here. He can use his tongue to extend and grab people here. Then you have the sheer fact he's able to manipulate the earth itself to create traps and barriers and even use it defensively. He can actually spit out huge balls of lava, no diddy, and just, well, crush and burn his opponents. And then he can also unleash a magma shockwave, so you got that there. However, what Behemoth excels is his durability, as he was actually able to withstand a planetary explosion, which led to him coming to sheer. So with that being said here, we can actually start the first category, and that being food-prey. What will Behemoth be eating? Now, keep in mind, the evolved monsters are 99% carnivore, with a few exceptions of, some herbivorous diet here. So they will eat plant matter and probably eat fruits and stuff like that as well, but it does not make a majority of their diet. They are carnivores here. So obviously, starting with the low ones, we have people like Kelby, or beings like Kelby, excuse me. So obviously, Kelby being the fodder prey here. I don't see Behemoth really going to this for here, even younger Behemoths, because again, Behemoth is the slowest of the monsters here. So Kelby probably is, for the first time in a long time, safe from being eaten here. Most swines, again, are pretty slow here, so they'll definitely be along the lines of, getting eaten and, taken by younger behemoths here. Again, I don't see adult or sub-adult behemoths really going for these guys as well here. And, well, honestly, I think they'll just make good snacks, in all honesty. So if an adult pretty much just gets one, it gets one at that point here. The next off we do have is the Noyos here. Now, these guys are actually pretty easy to get, in my opinion, here for a behemoth here. They can just use their tongue and just grab one out the air and just start eating it from there. But again, not a very common prey item, which is actually pretty interesting to say the least for this list here, as again, a lot of the creatures I'm going to name off here are just not really going to be what behemoths normally would go for here, Behemoth is definitely more of an ambush type of predator, or more of an ambusher himself here. Now, Kestodons are definitely going to be chased down by the likes of younger behemoths. There's more meat on their bones here. There's more to really gain from these, what are they? They're brute wyverns, right? So yeah, there's more to gain from these brute wyverns than just a simple Kelby would here. So in all honesty, Keston will probably just remain the same and definitely get ambushed and definitely used by the tongue here. And obviously, last but not least, we definitely have Apsaros that fills in that basically the big herbivore gap here. And well, I do see him, or see the behemoth species in general here, definitely being able to take on an Apsaros pretty easily, and definitely eating it here. Like, there's no if, and, or buts about it here. Reniflos as well would also get eaten by a behemoth here. I don't think anyone has a real problem with that here either, because again, Reniflos lives in large groups here. They are pretty aggressive, even towards the likes of Kuliyakus here, and even when they run away from their prey, or predators, excuse me, they are pretty slow. And more often than not, I could actually see these guys just being kind of easy for young behemoths. So in all honesty, for like the starter creatures, I could only see Behemoth really going after Reniflos and Apsaros here, with the occasional Kestagon getting snatched up here. But let's talk about real prey. Kuliyaku. Again, due to the speed that Behemoth moves at here, he likely would ambush a Kuliyaku here. And in all honesty, I think Behemoth's main problem here is definitely going to be speed here. Again, he's not the fastest of the monsters. He's the most durable, the tankiest of them here. But again, I can actually see cases where it could use its own nest as bait for Kuliyaku here, just ambushing them at the right moments and getting them. Next off, we have Geratotuses here. And believe it or not, yeah, I see behemoths like ripping them out of their watery areas and stuff, and just claiming them as a good and decent meal here. Because I mean that's a lot of fish meat on their bones. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't see Gyarados being able to bite through Behemoth's armor if it can't bite through a mud reinforced armor from Behemoth, excuse me. Next up, we have Mushroom Diddy himself. Now, this one might actually get a little freaky, in my opinion, here, because you might have a tongue off. I'm just saying here, because in the sheer fact that Pookie does attack with its tongue here, there is really no, honestly, there really is no way this is not going to end with, Behemoth using his tongue to overpower Pookie's tongue and just pulling him into his mouth. Yeah, so anyway, we're going to move on to Nightshade Cosby himself here. Now, again, I could probably see this being difficult for younger Behemoths here. But sub-adults and others, they will likely use their, rock or rock barrier abilities to, trap a, Nightshade Paluma here, and then proceed to just kind of spew lava on it. I even see a lava spew kind of just doing one of these guys in and just melting and tearing through their wings like a hot knife through butter. Now, let's move on to some more creatures. Nibble Snarf. Yeah, y'all already know. Y'all know. Big Mouth himself, the Bomb Eater. You already know he was going to be on here. And man, do I miss this guy so much. I hope he does make it back into Wild so we can fight. I can fight him again here, because man, it has been years since I've even played against this guy. I mean, oof. But yes, Nibble Starf was definitely on the menu here. I could definitely see him being able to take out young Behemoths, but adult Behemoths are definitely going to be ripping this guy out of the ground, or possibly using their lava spew ability or lava earthquake ability to just force out of the ground and then claim it as a meal. Then you have Cephalodromes, Copper Blangogas and stuff like that. Yeah, these guys are also on the menu as well here. Blangogas will likely be able to avoid Behemoths here, but again, I don't really see that being a more often than not thing here. I do think that if a group of Blangogas does stumble into a Behemoth's territory, they are getting killed here. Keep in mind, again, Behemoth and every other monster in Evolve are pack hunters. And again, I do think they are pretty great at pack hunting, and they're pretty much well coordinated here. So we could likely see things where Behemoths are able to trap their prey and just start picking it off, in all honesty. Even the likes of, a Tiger Stripe Zamtrios is not safe here. It may even be hunted for the fact that it does hang in oases. And I do think that Behemoths will likely nest in areas that do have a subtle amount of water. Volvidon as well is another creature that would be on the menu. I should have put it with Pookie and Kuliaku, but yeah, he was kind of like a last minute addition because, again, research and everything. So I kind of had him on the list in that order. So please just bear with me here. And again, Volvidon might get into a tongue off. Not gonna end well, but hey, it tries. The Hermiters as well are definitely going to be a good snack here, especially in things like Stonefish, Daimo Hermiter, Daimo Shantoria, and stuff like that. Every, Carapacian, I believe their name is getting eaten here. Such as the Celtis Queen as well here. She's also getting eaten. The Desert Celtis Queen, is getting eaten here. And again, I definitely think she deserves a versus matchup here. So let me know down below what y'all want for an inverse Monster Hunter matchup for the Celtis Queen here. So yeah. Next up, we definitely have the likes of, well, in all honesty, hold on a minute. I almost forgot. I got to explain this here. Yeah, Celtis Queen would actually be a territorial dispute as well here. Considering the sheer fact, I do think Behemoths would definitely like to nest in the caves here. But again, they do lay their eggs, all over their environment. So, yeah, that is probably going to have to change here, like with the rest of the evolved monsters. Then the next thing we have is Shrouded Nerscylla. Now, again, I don't know why they have Kezu skins, but they are in their region. But I'm trying to figure out. So, could someone please remind me down below if Kezus are in the desert region? Because even looking them up, I could not find it for some reason. But yes, Shrouded Nerscylla would definitely be a great prey item. But the ones I think that Behemoth would definitely excel in taking down are the Brute Wyverns themselves, being Behemoth and Bonboro here. Now, let's actually talk about why. These guys are bulky, tough, and aggressive here. This is something that Behemoth can definitely get a lot out of here. And believe it or not, considering the sheer fact they don't have like natural predators here, I could see Behemoth being a natural predator towards Barroths and, well, Bomberos, even though I do think that Bomberos' natural predator is likely Fulgor, Anjanath, and Barioth here. Albeit Fulgor Anjanath is probably more because it likely did follow the herd of Bomberos to various regions. Because again, they are pretty much one of the biggest predators around. And the sheer fact that if you can follow them, why not? You follow the herds, right? Most predators do that anyway when it comes to like prey or, you know, migratory herds and stuff like that there. So believe it or not, I do see Behemoth being able to like not only manhandle a Bombero, but likely using its more burial-like abilities to isolate one from its herds and, well, just kind of take it out from there. Now, the prey animals that I don't think Behemoth is definitely going to be able to take on here is definitely the likes of Diablos, Monoblos, and Rust Rambros here. You see, Black Diabloses are capable of scaring Devil Joes, and I do think the same could even be said for White Monobloses as well here. And saying the sheer fact that Pete, Diabloses are on the same level as Black Diabloses and White Monobloses here, I don't think it's really a smart thing for Behemoth to take these guys on in a one-on-one confrontation. But luckily, they do run past it. Now, Ruster Rambroses are an absolute heck no. Okay? These guys give a Devil Joe a second thought. These guys will chase down and mutilate type of beasts. So no, I don't think Behemoth would be in any comfortable way take these guys on at all here. So gonna have to reward it with a praise score of 9 out of 10, but it does do pretty well. Now next part we have here, excuse me, is definitely competition. Basically the monsters that are basically going to be competing for like territory and resources here in all honesty. Now, at the low ends of the list here, I could definitely see Anjanath here. Anjanath, in all honesty, would probably be more of a prey dispute than territory. Because in the sheer fact, I do think Anjanath's territory will likely be a lot different here. And it's not a traditional desert creature here. It is mainly reserved for like forests and areas and stuff like that, places where it will definitely raise young here. But again, I do think it'll definitely be like a prey dispute here, because I do think it'll be able to hunt down a lot of the creatures here. However, I do think some of the creatures would definitely be able to kind of outcompete Behemoth in situations here, especially when it comes to like fast moving prey. So beings like Anjanath, Ebony Odogaron and stuff like that there. And Ebony Odogaron could likely prey upon Behemoth as well here, considering the sheer fact that its jaws allow it to break through the toughest of armors in Monster Hunter, including the likes of an acidic Glavenus and even the hide of Elder Dragons, which is pretty interesting. Even the shells of a Rathalos, Rathian, and even, speaking of which, even the Pink Rathians. I think the Pink Rathians are definitely more of a territorial dispute, as well as, you know, the regular Rathians as well here, so excuse me. So both the Rathians here definitely would have territorial disputes along with the Behemoths here. And believe it or not, I could see a situation where single mother Rathians band together to raise their young. This would actually be a good evolutionary, I guess you could say, take or evolutionary adaptation to the likes of packs of Behemoths here being able to take over a large amount of territories that they need to raise their young here. And it's very possible that Behemoth may even compete with Rathians for food like Barroths and Bombero. But again, more often than not, I do think it would definitely be more of a territorial dispute. Now, Seragios. Seragios is definitely going to be interesting here, because I could see this being an occasion where they rarely bump into each other, but it wouldn't be uncommon to see a Behemoth with Seragio thorns in its, or Seragio spikes or whatever here, or quills, in its shell here. To which I don't think they'll be able to pierce the Behemoth fully, but they'll definitely be able to get deep enough, you know? Something as long as like a, I guess you could say like a flesh wound or something like that there, where it leaves just nasty scars all over here. So believe it or not, very rare interactions between the two, likely by territorial disputes here. And plus, I think Seragioses will likely start having more family-orientated units because of the likes of Rathians being able to now group up as an adaptation here. But now let's talk about the real threats to the Behemoth here. We have the following: Sand Barioth and Tigrex. Starting off with Sand Barioth here. except it's just made for the desert. Now, again, I did make a video about Xantrios' ecology and why it moved to the desert here, probably to get away from Barioths here. But again, it just winds up with Barioth, migrating to the deserts and adapting here. And considering the sheer fact that Barioth's versatility and the sheer fact that it's likely going to aim for more vulnerable areas on the Behemoth, it definitely could do it. I definitely think a Sandbara could take down a Behemoth in a well-coordinated ambush. Then there's Tigrex, both regular and brute. Woo! This is definitely a strength versus durability argument here, because again, characters can be more durable than the other, and characters can be stronger than the other here. However, depending on how you look at it, I do think Behemoth does well with competition. Most of these are really going to be more territorial disputes than actual disputes here. But now let's talk about another part of Behemoth that does need to change here, and that is its adaptation here. You see, I see Behemoth actually acquiring the ability to burrow. Now you might say, why is that? It's because Behemoth is going to have to really learn how to keep up with a lot of these prey animals here. And to be kind of honest here, I do see Behemoth becoming a more wait and ambush predator, similar and somewhat similar to the likes of Nibblesnarf here, where it is able to keep its head above the sand and kind of just traverse the lands here. This would mean that Behemoth likely would use its lava ability from underneath the sand here, and likely creating, I guess you could say, slippery glass areas where it would make it difficult for prey animals to really escape here. Then the sheer fact that it could utilize its tongue as well here, yeah, I do think Behemoth adding the ability to burrow would make it a lot more dangerous here. Then you have the sheer fact that when it comes to the hunters, in all honesty, I don't see Behemoth being as much of a threat here, considering it may take up a more ambush lifestyle. However, the armor that we would get and the hammer upgrades or hammer augmentations would go hard. But that's going to be all today, guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share it to your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and we got one more monster from Evolve to get to. Excuse me. Peace.